In lesson 3, I'm going to show you the full versions of the first 4 chords of lesson 1 and lesson 2, and then we're going to start working on exercises. Now, I have this device, you've seen this already. This is called a string dampener. And when you find you get to more sophisticated playing, and especially lead techniques that are almost to the virtuoso level, these come in really handy because it literally blocks the strings. So when you're playing, if you happen to make a little mistake here and there, this will block that. There's other things out there called fret wraps that do the same thing, but I have a patent on this string dampener, and I think these are the best options, because if you have a fret wrap, you can't put it, you have to, it's hard to get rid of it. And so once you get that first fret, you're gonna have to put the fret wrap back here. But see, with the string dampener, just put it down, play what you have to play, and you can move it back up. So anyway, we don't need this yet, but you've been seeing this on my guitar, so I wanted to explain it. Now, I showed you G, G7, C, D7, and G. And I said only play 4 strings. Well, that's true for this. And it's really for, there's always a method to my teaching madness. And the method and the methodology and the idea behind this is when you work on just 4 strings, you're controlling your picking hand, and you're forcing yourself within the box. You are in the box, because eventually musical people will find a way out of that box and make music too of their own. But this gives you more control. See, it's about getting a feel for the instrument and getting comfortable with it. And now we're able to expand. But see, you're learning the right way. You're learning from the ground up. And so these are lessons that you can take with you for the rest of your life. See, you're building. It's kind of like we're taking a house and building it from the very foundation straight up. A lot of times, professionals and teachers sometimes will start in the middle and they'll work up, but I think one of the reasons that I have a big advantage is from being a major label artist and touring in 58 plus countries like I have, that I've been able to work out methods, study methods from the past, and apply that to my own play, because I practice what I preach. These are things that I learned as a kid, and they have really stood the test of time. And so now, instead of playing a G like this with just 1 finger, we're going to play the full chord. So now you can use all 6 strings. And this is a little harder. So here's what we do. G major or G, I can say it either way. It implies major, like we talked about before. So to play a proper G chord, the full G chord, it's like this. 3rd finger, 1st string, 3rd fret like you did. Then you add your 1st finger, 2nd fret, 5th string. Now here's the secret. Remember, daylight between your hand, arc your hand enough so all those strings in between ring. You don't want it to go. What happened? I can hear them all. No, I swear to God, they're all ringing. No, you want it to ring, to sing. So you add that 1st finger, then you add your 2nd finger on your low E string, 3rd fret. Now, it's not the only way to play a G, but this is one of the traditional ways. And you're going to find that there's many different ways to play the same chord, but all you have to do is learn this one first. Then we can move on to the next. Now, so you have a G major chord that spans all 6 strings. It's much easier to strum when you don't have to worry about just going 4-4. But see, that was teaching you control. Now you can take that, and I want you to strum it. I want you to go down, up, down, up. you see how even that strum is? Because see, a lot of times when people do upstrum, you know, you get caught. It's almost like you get caught in the strings. One of the things you want to consider is getting a few different kinds of picks. I use a jazz style pick. It's a Chromacast, made by Chromacast. It's a signature Michelangelo Badio pick. It's very pointed, and we call it a teardrop shape because it's literally shaped like a teardrop, but it's very pointed. And then it's kind of rigid. I like heavy picks for lead, and you know, to get that, you know, that very percussive sound. But you can find that you can use standard, they call them Fender style picks. You can use light, try a medium, because when you strum like this and you want to get a smooth sound, a lighter pick will actually feel more comfortable in the beginning, because the farther you get with lessons and the farther you go and your skills improve, you're going to find what you like. It happens with everybody. You know, it's kind of like a make of a car. Once you start driving and you want to get a new car, you know, you look around, there's ones you like, ones you don't like. Well, it's the same with picks. There's thousands of different kinds of guitar picks, every shape, size. I mean, you can get them made out of glass, out of stone. I mean, they even make tortoiseshell picks, which I'm not a big fan of. You know, I would rather not kill a tortoise for a pick. Call me crazy. But, you know, most of them are made of plastic. There's another one, Delrin. That's what my signature picks are made of. So you're going to have a lot of choices. But in the beginning, what you really want to concentrate on is just to strum the darn thing. Strum the chord, quit screwing around. So you just take a pick, a medium gauge pick would be perfect, a Fender medium, or just a normal size, not too pointy, just kind of rounded, and just go like this. Pretend you're the Eagles, in the band the Eagles. Just strum and strum and strum and get comfortable with the sound. Get comfortable with not only the sound, but playing it. Get that feel of just going. Then, now I'm going to show you the next chord. So all you have to do is just play this chord over and over and get a feel for what it's like to strum and make it feel comfortable for you. Now, G7 chord, the next chord. Instead of putting one finger down, yes, you put your first finger down, first string, first fret. But then you add your second finger, fifth string, second fret. Then you add your third finger, third fret, low E string. And again, you want to have daylight between your hand and the neck of the guitar. See, now I'm not at a radical position, just like that. And that's because I have proper hand technique. So, and you do the same thing. Once you get this chord, and you should check every string, go. Do you hear how every string rings? If you hear this, that ain't the way to do it. You want to make sure every string rings. And you just do the same thing. See, I'm going like, because I'm a musical person. Once you get used to strumming, your musicality will start to shine through as well. You'll say to yourself, yeah, that sounds kind of stiff like that. You know, you can accent different parts of the chord, the low part, the high part, different strings. You will find your way musically, but first you have to learn the fundamentals. And the fundamentals of strumming are get that bad boy to go down and up where you feel comfortable. Okay, so that's the second out of 4 chords. Now, the C major chord that I showed you had 2 fingers down. Well, this one completes it with 3. And again, you can strum all 6 strings. Now here is the full chord. First finger, first fret, second string. Second finger, second fret, fourth string. Third finger, third fret, fifth string. And again, keep your thumb down, try to be as literally, parallel to these fret markers, perpendicular to the neck. Daylight right here. So you get enough of an arc, no banana, you get enough of an arc to hear every single string ringing out. Again, you do not want it to go. Doesn't sound quite good, I wonder why. And one of the reasons why is your hands are too far down, blocking the strings. So you want to keep a little bit of an arc, and so that's C major. Now we have one more. The cool thing about the last chord is you don't really change anything. D7 is D7. You learn the full chord the first time. Now you cannot strum all 6 strings. It's not going to sound right. So you have to stick with the 4. So you have G, full chord, G7, full chord, C, full chord, D7, 4 strings, back to G. So strum it. Feel it. Because if you're a musical person, you're not going to go. That's too mechanical. You're going to find a way, once you get comfortable, especially with that upstroke in the strum, that upstrum like that. Once you get, you're going to get a feel. You're going to develop rhythm in your playing because, there's rhythm in life, the way you speak, the way you walk. There's all sorts of flows. But when you get rhythm, it's not getting a rhythm that's grammatically incorrect, like he has a rhythm. They use that in sports, and I never understood why they don't just say he has rhythm, because it's not a rhythm. Rhythm is a feel. Rhythm is in the way a person sings, and the way, like even if you're in hip hop and the way you rap, there's rhythm to the rhymes. And the same with guitar and any instrument. You develop rhythm that allows you to get feeling that makes the music sound professional and sound great. So that is this lesson. The 4 chords and something more. Now that you've learned these 4 chords, it's time to work on some individual exercises. Now this is one that I have shown in the past, and it is one that I can tell you I use every day of my life that I play guitar. And I play guitar almost all the time, but even myself, sometimes I just put it down. If if I really feel like, after a long tour or a record where I've been playing hours and hours and hours, day after day, week after week, it's time for a little vacation from guitar. And I find when I do that, it's refreshing because I come back, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. And so, but one thing that I do, warming up is essential. Warming up is key, and this exercise will help you your entire life. Now, remember in an earlier lesson, I talked about putting all 4 fingers down. I did this to give you an idea, not just verbally, but just get the feel of what it's going to be like playing this exercise. Here's what you do. You put your first finger, first fret, start on the low E string, and you go. So you use fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4 on frets 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now here's the secret to playing it right. Keep your fingers on the string while you're doing it. Now for right now, I just want you to pick downward. Down, 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 down. Then you go to the next string, down, do the same thing. Then the next string. Then the next string. So it's fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, frets 1, 2, 3, 4, starting on your low E string, the 6th string. And when you end with your 4th finger, your other 3 fingers should be down. There is a very important reason for this, and I can explain it later, but don't worry about the reason. Do the exercise this way. And pick it down. Now when you get to the very top, that 1st string, 4th fret, you hit it again. So you're going to hit this note twice. So you go up, then you go back down. Now when you're going down, don't worry about having all 4 fingers down. You can play more like this. And there's a reason for that too. But what you want to try to do is not move your finger high off the frets. We are all humans, and when you play and you move your fingers, every human's finger wants to move in a diagonal way towards the headstock. Pretend on this fretboard, see these fret markers here? These are called frets. When you pretend there's an invisible line going off that fret. You don't want to cross the line. So you want to think lazy. Now your 4th finger is going to want to go like, see, you've crossed the line. So you don't have to worry about as much going up, but going down. Now when you play this, don't worry about playing it in rhythm, in time. Don't worry about anything other than playing it properly. Play slow. Slow and right is better than fast and random. As slow as you want. The main focus is to play it correctly. Keep your fingers down. All 4 fingers are down. Don't worry about the picking sequence. Try it all downstrokes, meaning pick down. You don't have to, because eventually I'm going to show you how to alternate pick this. But we have to start somewhere, and you start from the beginning. This is going to help you greatly when you start doing more advanced exercises, because you are training the muscles in your hand to work properly and to play as efficiently as you can. I call it economy of motion. You know, I say think lazy, but it doesn't mean lazy and not practice. I mean, in a funny way, move as little as possible. Economize the motion. Economy of motion works. The less you do, the less you move, the faster you can play. So it really helps. So this lesson focuses on the full chords and the exercise. Work on them both, and I'll be back.